Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to our new episode of LinguaBees, the podcast. This is the second season, and well, this episode is pretty special because we have new members of the staff. So it is my pleasure to introduce to all new members who have joined this semester. They are Fernanda, Carlos, Alma, and Ari. Well, so in today's episode, we are discussing about the research proposal, and our new member cast are going to discuss about the research topics.
Thank you, Patty, very much for the introduction. So for this conversation, we will start by introducing a little bit about ourselves. Where do we come from? What is our academic background? And why we decided to get enrolled in this MA? And of course, what is our research project about? Fer, would you like to begin?
Yes, thank you, Alma. Well, my name is Maria Fernanda Iñiguez Mora. I come from Celaya, Guanajuato, and my BA is in graphic design. It's a little bit different as the different backgrounds of the others, but I love to teach English. I am certificated as an English teacher, and I have more than 10 years giving classes in English. And I think that it's very interesting to be here, and I decided to get into this MA because in every aspect of what we do as teachers, we have to know what's happening and research about it. Also, in the area of applied linguistics, it's something bigger than we know normally when we are teaching, and it's a different way to see our learners and to see our teaching and how we can develop everything that we do and make it better. So that's why I get into the MA.
Thank you, Fer. Ari?
Hello, well, my name is Ariana Castañeda Zeta, and I am from Sinaloa. I'm actually from the city of Culiacan, and well, I started teaching English since I was 16 years old, so it's been a while. I started as a volunteer, and I fell in love with the profession. Since I loved it so much, I decided to major in English language teaching, and after I graduated, I was 21 years old, I believe, at that time. I decided to apply for a CELTA course, which was fully sponsored by the university from which I graduated. And so I took the opportunity and had a CELTA course from which I was awarded Pass B. Then, after a couple of years, I started to study ICELT course, which is another one by Cambridge University. I have working experience thanks to both certificates and my major as well, nationally and internationally. I recently came back from living and working in Moscow, and I am now part of the first semester at the master's degree in Applied Linguistics.
Thank you, Ari. Carlos?
Hi, I'm Carlos Castañeda. I come from León, and I got a BA in modern languages. And since I graduated from university, I've been working as teacher, as language teacher. I got a chance to teach English, French as second language, and I'm currently working as English teacher and German teacher in university. And besides this, I got the chance to work as tourist guide for both bilingual tours for both English and French. And after some time, I thought it was a good chance for me to get an update and start this new academical path towards research, which in this case is the MA in Applied Linguistics.
Thank you, Carlos. About me, I would like to tell you that I have only 2 years of teaching English experience, and I love it. I studied marketing and advertising. So after I took a diplomado en la enseñanza del inglés here at the University of Guanajuato, I had the opportunity of begin teaching English. And well, as Ari said, I fall in love with the profession, and That's why I am studying this MA right now. And my research project is about teachers' perceptions on effective strategies to teach speaking. So this is a new crew, and we are all very glad to be here.
Okay, well, all this very valuable information that we have shared about us is very interesting. But now I think it's time to know how challenging girls has it been to develop that research topic. How then you run into this, which was very interesting to you, and then transform it into a research proposal. So tell me a little bit about your case.
So for me, the most difficult part while I was choosing the research topic was to frame my work, because what you have to do all the time, it's to reduce the quantity of things that you are going to search for. So my topic is at the moment the use of metacognitive awareness for developing listening comprehension among intermediate learners in a private school. So the first time I get into this, I didn't know that I was going to do something about quantitative research. The first time I do it, it was going to be qualitative, and it was going to be about the perspectives of students while listening. But then I realized that I was more interested in doing something that has a result. I know that qualitative has also results, but I was trying to find a result while doing some tests. So what I'm going to do is a little bit different as qualitative, but I think the most difficult for me was to decide the part of the linguistics, what part of the linguistics was the best. And I think that's it, because framing everything, it's the most important thing.
Okay, thank you, Fer. So now let us know a little bit about you, Ari.
All right. Well, my research topic title as of now is Non-Native English-Speaking Teachers Co-Teaching Experiences in Moscow Region. So the first challenge, first of all, as my friend and classmate Fer was telling us, it was basically to choose a topic. In my case, I have so many topics that I'm interested in. And so for me, the challenge was to choose one of all of the list that I have right now. But once I decided on a topic, in this case, co-teaching experiences, it was kind of easier on my behalf, designing or getting to know a bit more on the topic. The challenge right now that I'm facing at the moment is deciding on a title. The one that I mentioned has been changing every single week since we started the master's degree program. And so I think it's something that is natural, and it should happen as we are reading on more topics and about the research, like getting acquainted with the literature review and the methodology processes, so on and so forth. So for me, it's only natural that my title is going to be changing, not only on this semester, but throughout the entire MA program. But as of now, I think the second challenge that I'm facing is deciding on the data collection that I'm going to be using for the research process. So I have a clear idea on what I want to apply on my research, but at the same time, it's been difficult to decide exactly what will be useful for the methodology that I have chosen.
Okay, thank you, Ari. And now, Alma, what about you?
Well, to me, it's still challenging the narrowing down of the topic, as both classmates had mentioned. It is everything so new and so interesting for us as novices on this area. Or well, Ari's not a novice, but everything is interesting for her in this area. And it is difficult to choose one thing, because I want to study speaking and I want to study to study speaking, you need to study teachers and students because they are the one that are speaking. But I want to know why teachers teach and how do they teach and what do they think that it's important for the students to learn. So I decided to go for teachers. But then when I'm reading, I am thinking, how maybe, and what if I take only one student to see the part of the students? And then I want to, and then I read a different thing and I think, what if I do an exam, a test? What if I do this? What if I do that? And that is still to me the difficult part of this. I already chose a topic. And the title of my research is Teachers' Perceptions on Effective Strategies to Promote oral ability, the oral ability during the speaking class. So it is very specific, but still when I am reading, it's difficult to me to keep on that track because I start reading things and I go to other directions and it's very difficult to me to come back and stay in this line that is the one that I want to study. So that is still the most difficult part for me. I can't say that I already did it because I'm still struggling with that, but I love it anyway.
Okay, thank you, Alma. So it's very interesting. You know, we have on one side we have metacognitive awareness, co-teaching, sorry, and perceptions towards speaking strategies. So in my case, my field, let's say, would be language identity, and in few words, I'm gonna be working with the influence in language identity constructions. In the case of students who learned English and German as a second language, the first challenge for me, or the most difficult, was to choose one topic because I first thought that writing could be a good option to me, and then something related to speaking as well. But then motivation, and I ended up choosing this very interesting topic because at the end of the day, to me, the cultural aspect it's been always like the most interesting regarding my work career and my academical career. So in a few words, I'm going to try to look at how this influences in a meaningful way in the sense of self, cultural values, and socioeconomic aspirations. And well, let's see what I might find about.
Well, as I see it, we all four have very different ideas and everything is part of applied linguistics. And for the people that is listening and watching us, if you listen to the last program, the topics that our classmates from a different generation chose, there are also very different and very interesting as well. So just to start by getting to the end of our podcast, I would like to ask you, how challenging was it or has it been to develop the research project and transform it into a research proposal? Ari?
Okay, well, I think that long story short, the reading. It has been super challenging to cope with all the reading, the never stopping reading, the never ending reading. I think this is the major challenge that I'm facing at the moment. Nevertheless, I'm enjoying the process, like this is a good representation of the academic challenge that I was looking for. And even though many things are new to me, despite of like following this academic journey on ELT and so on and so forth, it's still challenging for someone who has been in the field for a couple of years. So to put it into a research proposal, the main struggle has been the reading for me, but at the same time, to make decisions, it's been difficult to make the right decisions, or the decisions that I think are taking me into the right path for my research project in general. But so far, I think I can say I'm doing well.
Thank you very much. How about you, Fer?
Yes, well, for me, it was very challenging too, the part of reading and researching, because it's not on the way of I can't read or I can't comprehend what I am doing. The problem is that while I'm reading more, I get more involved into the topic, and then I want to go further and I want to research some different things. But then, as I told you, I need to frame my work and I need to narrow it down. And it is hard because before I was just thinking about teaching and making my students feel better while they were studying. Now I have to ask myself, can they learn grammar better than they are now? How can I do it? Can I help them using different strategies? So that's the part of the researcher, and it was, I think, natural on me, but also it was different and difficult because when I get into the MA, I wasn't thinking about I'm going to investigate my students or I'm going to research about my students. And now doing quantitative, it's going to be difficult. I think one of the most difficult things for me is going to be the part of maintaining my students doing the research or doing the tests till the end. I think that's one of the most important things that I have to do because they are teenagers. And also, it is going to be difficult to have enough time with them. I think that's the most important thing for me.
Thank you, Fer. What about you, Carlos?
Well, I must say that I'm still struggling to transform it into a good research proposal because I changed my topic like 1 month ago. So since then I've been working on it, and but I run into very interesting concepts. For example, talking about language investment, how many resources a student is willing to invest in language engagement, the way he or she is committed to learn a language, and different very interesting concepts. So now I think the challenge is to frame it even more, but I'm on the way, and well, I think I'm gonna find very interesting things since at the end it's everything or every path it's taking me to like geopolitical influences. So let's see what happens.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I would agree. I can agree actually with the three of you on the same. I am going through the same issue with transforming it into a research proposal because there is everything so interesting and there is so much literature about that it's hard to find which one is the one that can help me to get into this idea that I have, because all the literature of course can help, but there is some literature that might take me in a different way, as Fer was saying, because you start reading something and you start thinking, oh, this is actually interesting and I am thinking this. So then the difficult part of transforming it and getting it into one only idea and writing it is to not get lost in all the literature that we are reading now. And another thing that I just think about is the writing part. I know how to write in English, but I have never written academic writing before in my life. So that is also a difficult part, to put it into paper with the correct academic writing. Well, that part is being very difficult to me, but also very exciting.
Girls, people, thank you everyone for sharing your experiences, the main students and researchers, current and future researchers. And thank you all for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode because Applied Linguistics is for everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. This podcast is part of the Applied Linguistics Master Program at the University of Guanajuato in Mexico. This episode was produced by Patricia Linares Flores. Alma and Carlos were the hosts. This episode was edited by Alondra Juarez Hernandez and Ariana Castañeda. The social media managers are Dulce Anayeli de Anda Vargas and Maria Fernanda Iñiguez. The script was developed by Alejandro Aguilar Arriaga.